We're up to step 14 of the 6-inch smooth operator build. This is Joe LikeCatcher. I hope you've liked and subscribed and hit the notification bell. This video is part of a series on how to build the 6-inch smooth operator quadcopter. And here we are with our frame. By the way, I want to make a small correction. The rear retainer plate here, the keeper, carbon fiber keeper for the brace, I had it backwards, I flipped it around, and now that's correct. So the parts that we have to deal with now is the bottom plate. I have the spacer, but I'm not going to use this. I don't believe I need it, so I'm going to just put that aside. We also have the top front plate, the grommet, the back front plate, 3 screws, some battery Velcro straps, the TPU front mount, some spacers. These were black, now they're silver screws in this new version. 2 black washers and 4 aluminum washers. We're going to start with the bottom plate. Make sure everything is neatly in there. And let's just... Okay, perfect. Take our 3 screws and just put them in there. 1, 2, 3. That's the easy part. Just make sure all your wires are in the right place. I don't do fully tightened on this until I've got it all the screws in. Alright, put a little tightening. I'll secure everything nice and snug later. Okay. Bottom plate's in. Let's start with the top. When we deal with the top plate, we're going to start work from the front to the back. So let's begin with that. Starting with the top plate. Used to be we would have a captive nut, but we don't have that anymore in the 6-inch build. You'll notice there's no hole for the captive nut anymore, so that hole really doesn't do anything. But we can put the grommet in, and we know we're going to put on that side. It doesn't really matter which side we do it anymore because there's no captive nut. So let's just squeeze that in there. Get that in place. I got the smudger tool here, which I love. I use it for everything. Okay. That's in there, and we know we're going to orient it this way. At this point, we've got to take out these bolts, and hopefully we won't lose any of the spacers while we're doing them. By the way, I tucked this wire under there just to get it out of the way, just to make it a little easier to see. I'm going to take these 4 bolts out. Ooh. Popped up a little bit. That was interesting. I'm hoping those rear keeper plate actually helps keep these arms in place better with the 6-inch version over the 5-inch version. It's actually a nice thing. Be prepared for these spacers to shift away from where they are, and you'll just need to put them back later. Oh, these are really long bolts. I'm really feeling we're near the end of this build. It's almost done. Oh, jeez. Oh, that's a spam call, I can tell. How annoying is that? I hate robocalls. They are so awful. And you can tell that they're robocall because I've got a really strange exchange. And no one has an exchange like I have. Starting with 200. It's an old, from a Google number thing. So I know it's a spammer if it starts with anything in the 200 range. Okay, now that we got that done, we can turn our attention to this. Now we have these 4 silver washers that, and I don't know if you see those little recesses. We're going to try and squeeze them into the recesses there. Yep, they go right in. That makes it really nice. Now they just pop right in there. And just use this little tool to make sure they're in there good. A little space. Okay, they're not going anywhere. Now, if I had the antenna coming out here, coming out of the tubes, I would have them routed out and I would put them through there right now. But being that I'm using this antenna down here, it's not necessary. We're going to put our top plate in place. I'm going to take these spacers, which go in here, just push them in. I say that now. Some of them need to be a little snug, you know. I think I'm going to use a little tool for guidance here. Oh yeah, look at that. Just does not want to seat this one. There we go. Here's a little tip for you. Use a little tool and guide it in there so it doesn't pop out and fall on the floor. You know, I'm sure that's happened to all of you where you've got a tiny part that falls on the floor and you never find it again. Actually, I could even... Yeah, look at that. I could just use that to ram it in. What a great idea. Why didn't I think about that 4 seconds ago? Take it in there and just kind of use that to push it in place. There we go. That's how we need it. The bushings inside and the washers on top. And then once we got that, we can put it in place. Okay, get it in that area there. Put it down. Kind of get it where it's supposed to be. Watching where those washers are. And work on lining up those holes. I don't know about you, but sometimes I get so excited about doing these, I miss important steps. Oh, gotta get that in the little hole. Just find the holes. Oh, I see. I see now I wasn't in the washer right. That's the problem here. Now I am. Come on. Little. There we go. Get in position and we'll just start to fall down. Hey, come on, I've never done this before. Oh, did I get... Yeah, that's good. Okay. My first time. And just snug it down. that we got that, I'm going to do the side bolts there, side screws. For that we need the black washers and these screws. Boy, she's really starting to look like a smooth operator now, ain't she? And let's see, for this we need a Phillips head driver. Where's my Phillips head driver that I had special just for this project? And found this one, the perfect one, just for this. There we go. I like to get each of them started before I tighten them down. There we go. There we go. Find the hole, screw it in. And this is kind of like a part of a shock absorber system for the GoPro, which we'll be putting on later. Okay, that's just tight, and that's just tight. Very nice. Okay, front is done. Let's move to, oh, I forgot something. Arg! I want to put this down first, because that would be easier. So let's loosen this up a little bit. I knew I was forgetting something. Let's see if I can just loosen up enough to make a little room there for me. I had it written in my notes to do this. You don't want it. It's supposed to go like this. I always put it inevitably the wrong way. Okay. And I like to put these like that. And boom, perfect. Okay, we got that strap in. Let's get these back down again. I think one of the only problems I'm going to have with this frame moving forward is if I snap a strap, I got to take a top plate off to replace it. So don't break your straps. I hope I don't have a problem with the back strap, because I do have the receiver on top. We'll find out in a minute. So we'll just put that there. Now for the back, I'm a little concerned about this. We have, let me get this out of the way. We have this locking system, and we have these bolts with the keeper, and I was wondering, how am I going to work that out? Oh, crap. Oh, it's for the back. We haven't done that yet. That's okay. So, let me get this in place. Okay. So I think I'm going to have to loosen this up or remove it for a little bit until I figure out what am I doing with the back here. Because we got these spacers, and I'm just wondering if the spacers are even necessary now. I don't think so. I think the spacers are completely unnecessary. Let's see if I'm right. If I take the spacers out and I line this up, boy, that is a tight fit there with my radio. Boy, I'm going to have a real, well, maybe not. Yeah, it's like, why am I using the spacer? I am going to be smashing this down. Maybe I need to take the double-sided tape off of there to save some space. I think I am. This is not going to need any extra help staying in. So let's see if I can economize some space by taking this off. Come on. I just want to flip it up a little bit. Take out that tape that I put there. I know it's only a little bit of space, but hell. Apparently, I got no room to spare here. Okay, I think this is going to hold in its place just fine without tape. Okay. And before we put this in, we should get our strap in. So this is going to clip in there. That way. Anyway, so that's the easy way to change the strap, doing it that way. Should I have switched that out, the receiver and this? I'm just thinking maybe I should. I mean, it really wouldn't be that big a deal. You know what? I think I'm going to try. Let's try flipping that around. I don't like the idea of flexing the board that much. Let's see if I can flip that around. See, these are kind of like the surprises. When you're building it out and then you find it doesn't quite work the way you thought it would. By the way, this is my little trick for getting the little nuts out. I just take one of these leftover standoffs. Let's see if I could flip the receiver and this around. I think I can. I think I got enough slack there. Originally I did have it on top. Okay. That should reach the antenna fine. Just want to see if I can flex this. Okay, that's what I want. I want the button on the top. That blue wire is meant to be cut, so don't worry about that. Okay. So now that we got that, I I can pop that down. I'm not going to put any double-sided tape on that. Let's see how well that closes up now. And this is why I couldn't do this as a Facebook Live event, as much as I wanted to. It's just too complicated. There's too many decisions that need to be made. Come on. All these wires got to go on top of that. So let's go there. Settle down, settle down. Those two are down. The antenna on that side of it. Okay, there we go. Does that clear everything? Yep. Maybe if I push it in a little bit more. We got the USB is keeping it from going down. See if I can push it in a little bit more. I think it has to just come through a little bit more. Get that down below there. Set the wires out from underneath there. And we have a winner. GPS wire's gonna. All right. That does it. This is a tight, technical fit. Now I got the video transmitter underneath. I don't have any tape holding it in, but damn, there's no way that can move anywhere. But it's all in there. All right, let's go put that puppy down. And I think this solves my issue with space on top. So you gotta keep thinking about these things. These projects are fluid. Because you don't, you can't just say, oh, I'm gonna do it this way, and that's set in concrete. Trying to put this in without messing up the receiver. Bit tight. See if I just do it this way. I'll just do another one and then come back to it. See, the longer I work on one of these, the more difficult it gets. My fingers are just too big and fat. I'll do the one in the corner back last. Yeah, now I got some thread there. Yep, now I can get it. All right, there we go. Modification done. Receiver now goes on top. And the antenna kind of like goes around the side there. I would have liked it not to go around the side there, but it'll be fine. Let's see if it stays in place now with this. Oh, look at that. That was the solution. I am going to use, if I can, a little piece of tape there. Let's see if that's not too much. Doesn't add too much weight. I mean, thickness to the receiver. Okay. Are we still good with that? Yeah. We're better than good. All right. That was the solution. Put the receiver on the top and the transmitter on the bottom. Let's go button this back up again. Let's start with the back. And again, we took out the spacers because there's no room for the spacers. I think that was a afterthought by Neill to put a spacer in there. Oh. Ah, man, I'm like crazy forgetful. I've been working on this project for days because I've had technical problems. Yeah, getting the F port to work, which was a failure. Getting RSSI to work, which was a success. Okay. This one, do I have a problem with the hole? Little problem. Get that lined up a little better. I'm just using that hex driver as a guide to help get it into the hole right. I see. There it goes. A little pressure on the arm. There we go. And all right, we finally got it figured out. Sorry that didn't go as smoothly as I had expected, but you know what? all engineering is a little trial and error. And I think we're ready for the next step in our project. She is really starting to look like a smooth operator now. I believe the next step is the camera mount, and then the next step is the XT60, I believe. Let me see. I have my notes here. I have a lot of notes here. We're up to page 8 of my instructions. At this point, we need to route the pigtails through. I don't need these ends. I'm going to cut them off. This is just part of my soldering setup. A little easier with all that solder on there. I think I'm using heavier gauge wire than Neill expected. The wire is, it just fills the hole. I'm using, what am I using here? I'm using 12 gauge wire. And this is too thick for that hole. What do you think, boys and girls? Should I change these wires to something less hefty? To do that, I got to take off the whole top plate. I guess I should. Alright, we're going to stop the video, and I'm going to go change out these wires to something a little less bulky. See you in a few minutes. Alright, so I took the time and I removed my 12 gauge wire, which wouldn't fit in the grommet, and replaced it with this 14 gauge wire. So I'm going to put it in here. I'm going to try and get it so it is nice and smooth. I'm going to start with the black wire this time. And there it is. Make sure it's not twisted. I want it to go in there straight. I'll take the red wire, shove that in there. It is still a tight fit, but it works. Again, I'm going to just twist it a little bit to make sure there's no, that it's straight. There we go. Just like that, nice and neat. All right. And that's the end of step number 14, which was kind of a bit of a mess. Moving forward, we are going to work on step 15, putting on the XT60 connector. I'll see you in the next video. Stay tuned. Thanks for watching till the end of this video. This video is part of a series on how to build the 6-inch smooth operator quadcopter. I hope you found it valuable. If you did, please consider being one of my Patreon subscribers. I'm Joel LikeCatcher, and I really appreciate your spending your time with me. Remember to click that subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you'll know when my next video goes up.